you have to work very hard, you have to be curious, and you have to be so committed to this profession that you couldn't imagine doing anything else. Hello, I'm Ricardo Cyncynates. I'm the Assistant Concertmaster of the National Symphony Orchestra, and my instrument is the violin. I became a musician mainly because my father loved music. He was a dentist, and he played the violin and the viola. And he was my first teacher. 3 months later, I won a competition, and I was put with a professional teacher who was excellent. And 3 years later, I was sent to Europe to study. I don't know if that would surprise people, but I was at one point an engineering major for 2 semesters until I saw there was an opening for the first concertmaster job of the Brazilian Symphony Orchestra. I'm very lucky to play 2 good instruments. One I owned is a French violin made by Jean-Baptiste Vuillaume in 1873. It's a wonderful instrument. I'm very, very lucky that I was able to buy it. It's one-piece back, meaning it doesn't have some violins are sometimes with 2-piece back, like this one that I'm going to show you later. And it's very beautiful, and it sounds very nice. A violin's made of pine on the top. This is pine. This is maple, so which are much harder wood than the top. Some people say that those instruments from the 18th century, 19th century were produced with wood that passed through a tiny ice age, which made the rings of the trees much tighter. And so the pine that's used is harder, more brittle, which produces a more brilliant sound. So that's it. The other violin, which I'm beyond lucky to be able to use it, is a violin made by Francesco Ruggeri. It's on loan to the National Symphony Orchestra, and through a foundation called Pro Canale. It's an amazing instrument. It's so old. It's built in 1686. If you held a violin like this, you see that's extremely light. And it's amazing that it survived 333 plus years. And was made in Cremona. That's the birthplace of the violin. And it's a wonderful. It's more brilliant than the Vuillaume. It's a wonderful violin. It projects like crazy. And you can see that it was used a lot. As if you could see the scroll, it's worn out a little bit on one side from people tuning over 300 years. Hello, this is my studio. It is actually acoustically controlled because it's so small that when my wife and I did put it together, we found out it was really dry acoustic. So we added a system that makes it resonant. This is a picture of a very famous violinist that was given to me by my in-laws, has his autograph. His name was Fritz Kreisler. And here's where I teach, here's where I practice, and I don't disturb anybody because it's soundproof. So if something happens to me, nobody will find out. Yeah, I'm very lucky because I get to do something I love and make a living doing it. And I get to work with wonderful colleagues. I get to work with wonderful conductors. I listen to wonderful musicians all the time, great guest musicians, soloists, singers, and I'm very lucky, no question about it.